to the Beau show. China has decided to ban some songs in the karaoke catalog in another method of typical suppression. The country's Ministry of Culture and Tourism says it will create a blacklist of songs it considers to be subversive that contain, quote, illegal content, according to the Xinhua news agency. The banned songs will be anything that, quote, endangers national unity, sovereignty, or territory integrity, violates China's religious policies and spreads cults and superstitions, and advocates obscenity, gambling, violence, and drug-related crimes or instigating crimes, unquote. The news agency says China has about 50,000 venues, such as karaoke bars, which have basic music libraries of over 100,000 songs. In the past, China has imposed similar bans on songs with titles including I Love Taiwanese Girls, Fart, Beijing Hooligans, and Don't Want to Go to School. In 2020, China banned about 100 songs. It will also be banning songs that, quote, incite ethnic hatred, whatever that means. I don't know if that means hatred towards China or hatred towards other ethnicities. Apparently, the ministry only wants karaoke songs that are healthy and promote positive energy, and venues are encouraged to promote songs seen as championing the government's agenda. Aha! Now we're getting somewhere. Just like, other forms of media that have been silenced and suppressed, as Chinese news, of course, is propaganda, the CCP is obviously looking at all other forms of media as ways to crack a whip on its people. Anjali Dat, a senior research analyst for China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan at Freedom House, said it was no coincidence the ban was being proposed right after the party's 100-year celebrations, which she said were marked by insecurity and concern about dissent. She says, quote, targeting karaoke song libraries is part of a broader attempt to extend the Chinese government's vast information control system into every facet of the entertainment industry. In proposing to ban songs on national security or violating social ethics grounds, authorities will censor content that it deems foreign, religious, or politically sensitive, while trying to promote a traditional and conservative culture with the party at the center, unquote. Chinese media academic Grégoire Bienvenu from the Sorbonne University said that karaoke is seen by Beijing as a useful tool to channel people's attention away from the government's failings, sensitive political issues like Taiwan and Hong Kong, and foreign influences, US, as long as it can control the messages in the songs. He says, quote, those places, i.e. karaoke bars, provide a very useful activity to absorb the energy of the youth through popular music, dance, and drinks. It diverts political thoughts away, so no wonder the list of the songs provided in karaoke venues have to be monitored. Maybe it's only part of Xi's main plan to watch over any kind of cultural expression, which he has been doing since 2013, whether with cinema, hip-hop, and now karaoke, unquote. So throughout this show, I thought it might be fun to sample some songs that might be on the blacklist. These are all guesses, of course, but you never know. If they've banned 6,000 songs in the past, who knows what might be next? Maybe this one. I got my peaches out in Georgia. I get my fentanyl from China. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. I get my light right from the source, yeah. They do get their fentanyl from China. It could be true that any ban of a song or artist could also have the unintended consequence of being free promotion for that artist as well. Bienvenu pointed to a 2015 crackdown on hip-hop that saw many Chinese hip-hop classics banned. One group called IN3, or N3, had 17 songs banned and were held in custody for 5 days. Within a few years, the band and the genre as a whole surged in popularity in mainland China. This speaks to a few different psychological issues. One is the issue of being taboo. It's rebellious to take part in the thing you can't have. But also, it speaks to the issue of free speech and expression, a hallmark of American democracy and an enemy of the CCP. The more you ban it, the more people want it. Freedom House said that this latest round of censorship was part of a wider pattern of behavior by Chinese authorities. Since late last year, Beijing has increased its control over a wide range of popular culture content, including stand-up comedy, gaming, internet fan clubs, as well as creating a code of conduct for celebrities. Now imagine for a moment you aren't in mainland China, but you're in America right here. We don't have a code of conduct for celebrities, but we are experiencing some form of conduct restriction in terms of our reactions to lockdowns and business closures, which reminds me of another song that might be banned. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. Well, that's not gonna work. Now I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. Probably not a lot of free falling going on in China. Not much freedom at all. And if they don't like freedom, they probably don't want much to do with anything promoting the red, white, and blue, right? I would have to think Toby Keith would also be on the blacklist too, right? Oh, justice will be served and the battle will rage. This big dog will fight when you rattle his cage. You'll be sorry that you messed with the US of A. 'Cause we'll put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. And it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. All brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Yeah, Toby is definitely on the blacklist. But perhaps the song Red Solo Cup stays because it promotes so much inebriation that you forget you're in communist China. I find this whole karaoke blacklist to be so interesting. The Chinese Communist Party does not trust its citizens to even go to a karaoke establishment to have a good time and to let loose. They find it subversive, a way of perhaps expressing contempt for the government. And just as importantly, ridding any music that might promote anything other than what it wants. I wonder what the Ministry of Culture and Tourism thinks about Britney Spears and her conservatorship. Then again, it sounds like the entire Chinese population is under some form of grand conservatorship. So that gets rid of this song. My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe, when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me baby one more time. How thin-skinned can the Chinese government be that they actually have to have a blacklist of songs? It sounds so incredibly insecure that they would be worried about what people sing along to, usually rather badly, at a karaoke bar. However, the flip side of this is that music can move culture. Music can be a form of protest, as we have seen. On a previous episode, I talked about Roger Waters of Pink Floyd and how he rejected Mark Zuckerberg's request to use Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 for an Instagram campaign. Zuckerberg knew the power of that song and even its lyrics. We don't need no education. And hey teacher, leave them kids alone. But the irony was that Zuckerberg and Facebook are exactly the power structure that Roger Waters is railing against in the song. So he emphatically turned Zuck down and then told the public about it. The truth is, music can change attitudes and can speak to the times. But here in America, we have permitted any type of speech throughout music and lyrics, as revolting or devastating as it may be. Donald Trump was pretty much exalted in every rap song leading up to his presidency. And then the tides turned for some bizarre reason. because he was Republican or something. Springsteen, Bon Jovi, John Legend, and others jumped to sing for Joe Biden's inauguration. I wonder if they are still so enthusiastic now that Afghanistan has made a mockery out of Biden in a mere 8 months. Which reminds me, I guess we should add this one to the blacklist. Born down in a dead man's town. The first kick I took was when I hit the ground. And the black dog that's been beat too much till you spend half your life just to cover it up. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA, I was born in the USA, I was born in the USA. It's always puzzled me why singers cling to Democrats, because the Democratic Party has become more socialist year after year. And that would be approaching what China is doing right now. It's like, speak your mind freely, well, as long as you agree with us. Then let's look at Cuba. Emilio Estefan recently released a song called Libertad about the crisis on that island and the human rights abuses. Cuban authorities had broken up members of the San Isidro movement, which is a collective of artists, which prompted protests. Totalitarian governments see any gathering and expression as subversive and dangerous, so they stamp it out. Because with music and expression comes truth. And then you have truth coming through a lightning rod, and everyone can feel it. It's palpable, because music moves the soul. It's transformational. So as insecure as the CCP is being right now with this ridiculous karaoke blacklist, they know that music can stir people to emotion and connect with a common cause. And speaking of connection and gathering, I guess it's time to add this karaoke classic to the blacklist, given all the touching. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba, good times never seem so good, so good, so good, so good. I'd been inclined, ba ba ba, to believe they never would. Yep, sadly we have to add Neil Diamond to the list, because for one, this is one of the biggest karaoke sing-alongs of all time. But it creates far too much collective fun and rancor and encourages hand-touching, which on the one hand is good for morale, but bad for virus spreading. Unless you're Andrew Cuomo, in which case touching is always encouraged. They also don't want any songs that support superstitions. Oh, so come on. Not Stevie Wonder. Very superstitious writings on the wall. Very superstitious ladders about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, good things in your past. And when you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. You know, the whole reason people listen to music sometimes is that it's a form of escape. It lets us be the person we can't be at home. We get transported on a journey. Now, I saw today that the Chinese are hoping for a peaceful new government in Afghanistan after the fall of Kabul. That's completely illogical. But it does make me wonder if this little classic might be added to the blacklist. Deo, Deo. Daylight come and me one go home. Let me say me say day, oh. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Taliban, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home. I hope everyone knows that I changed the lyric there. It's actually Mr. Tallyman, but I couldn't resist changing it to Mr. Taliban. I can't even begin to imagine what the Taliban's banned karaoke songs are going to be now. As for promiscuity, we have to just put it out there that WAP by Cardi B has to be out. But what if Cardi was actually so smart that WAP secretly stood for Wuhan Assisted Pandemic? And here we all are thinking it was about something totally different. But what about classics from Michael Jackson? Man in the Mirror. Well, it might be ousted because it asks these leaders to look in the mirror and change their ways. Beat It, well, they're already doing a good job of that. And what about this one, since it deals with a case of confused paternity? Well, people always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mama always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do, cause the lie becomes the truth. Yeah, the Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. She said I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Surely we can't have any songs promoting wedlock, especially if there's a 3-child max policy in China. Do you see how all these songs are fair game? And they're such fun songs to sing to, but when you get ridiculous, you get ridiculous. You got to think like they do. It's not as simple as a mere rap song that has profanity in it. This is like book burning. We might as well purge everything that might be considered subversive or obscene. But to make a quick parallel to America, where we think something like this could never happen, you do have to consider that we have had attempts at revisionist history, desecration and removal of monuments and historical figures. The ironic thing is that the Chinese do this to boost morale and national unity. We do it here to destroy national unity. But that's what freedom of expression comes with. Some of it will promote unity and positivity, and some will not. That's what our founders created, the ability to speak and sing and express ourselves freely. And they did this to ensure that we could speak out against our representatives if we don't like how they are governing. As you can tell by this latest edict from China, you can't do that there. All media must be propaganda. No conflicts with the party line. All expression, all speech, all music, all entertainment. And then many American businesses will not even reproach China because they want to do business with them. They want their money. Take the NBA and LeBron James as an example. See, we taught China how to be economic capitalists, and they taught us how to be communist, at least in terms of idealism and division. And we have many songs in this country that promote violence and division. That reminds me, I guess they have to blacklist this karaoke classic, if nothing else, for this one line. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Now in Chicago, that line is par for the course. But in China, can't be talking about mama killing a man. Wonder what they think of all the country classics too. Songs like Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks, or All My Exes Live in Texas. And what about that Korean guy, Psy? Remember Gangnam Style? Is he considered a heretic? What about the K-pop group BTS? They are wildly popular. So I'm wondering if they make the cut. And then of course there's the patriotic fanfare, which we don't have that much more of here in the United States. Seems to be a bit of a dying breed. And because Donald Trump so often would walk out to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA and was tough on China, I have to think that song is on the blacklist. Or could they create their own version of it? They can't really make mention of God, so how would that go? And I'm proud to be a communist, where at least I know I'm not free. And I won't forget the men who died, who took that right from me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love, hate this land. Something other than God bless the CCP. I know that I've done a lot of tongue-in-cheek today, and of course that's intentional to make light of what is happening. But in all seriousness, as silly as this sounds, it is very real. When they take away your press, your media, your entertainment, they are taking away everything critical or expressive. And expressive cultures thrive. Repressive cultures do not. Whether we want to admit it or not, we are in a culture war both globally and internally here in the States. We have to constantly fight for free expression because we see that in other parts of the world it is restricted or banned outright. Religion is another form of expression that is highly regulated or not permitted. Christians, Jews, Sikhs, Buddhists all crave to be able to practice their religions and sing their religious music as forms of individual expression. Music moves us, and it stirs strong emotions. It also can bind people together, which is exactly why China is scared of it. They consider it a threat to their existence. I performed the national anthem this past weekend at the Miami Marlins game, and in spite of all our national strife, it is still exhilarating and promising to sing that song with everyone in unity and reverence, if only for 90 seconds. There was no kneeling, no disrespect, and I sing it as prayerfully as I can. Music is, after all, a gift, and we have to treasure it as such. So go out to your local karaoke place, that is, if you even can, this weekend and sing your lungs out, because we don't have very many restrictions on what we can sing. Sing your Neil Diamond, Queen, Billy Joel, Beyonce, Journey, Bon Jovi, and everyone else, because we will continue to uphold freedom of expression through music. I'm Beau, and that's the show. Before I leave you today, I have a short announcement. The Beau Show is also broadcast on NTD television that is available on cable TV, satellite, and antenna TV across the country and the NTD online streaming platform. You can check out ntd.com/TV where you can type in your zip code to find all the ways you can watch my show. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.